Welcome to Antipoda. I'm William T. Batten. Now, today we're going to talk about something which a lot of people have been asking about recently on forums, to me personally. This is something that a lot of people experience. This is definitely something I've experienced too, and that's what to do when you're feeling stuck. Like when you're not stuck in a grand, existential sort of way, not stuck like you don't know what to do with your life, but something has happened and you just fixated on it and you can't get past it. Now, this could be an insult from someone that insult just keeps playing over and over again in your mind. This could be like a bad breakup, or maybe you were fired, maybe something bad happened. And for whatever reason, you can't get past it. Now, this isn't the same sort of thing as like a proper trauma, something which has real impact. I'm talking about the sort of thing where you should be able to get over it. Like maybe you broke up with someone, but that was 9 months ago, and you're still thinking about them every day, every hour. Or maybe you were insulted by someone who you don't even respect in the first place, but it just for some reason you can't just get past it. The last time this happened to me, a woman I was on a date with was going terribly. There was definitely not going to be a second date, but at some point she just got frustrated, walked out, and for whatever reason I couldn't get past that. I was like, it was actually quite arrogant. It was like, how could she walk out on me? That's a whole nother thing. But yeah, it was clearly it was a mutual thing. We neither of us thought there was going to be a second date, but I still couldn't, for whatever reason, I was fixated on that. For the next day or two, I just kept thinking about it. Well, what do you do when this happens to you? What's the remedy? It really does depend on exactly what it is that you're focused on and how long you've been focused on it. Like the idea of fixating on someone who you used to be romantically involved with is quite different to getting over a job or brushing off an insult. But there are some things that are common, no matter what it is that you're stuck on, whatever it is that you're fixated on. And the first thing, I can't recommend this enough, is you have to get moving. If you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling trapped, if you're feeling like you can't move on, it's all there in the language. You need to get moving. Now, I don't know the neuroscience behind this. I know a little bit of it. It's quite complicated. I'm not sure if anyone knows exactly how all of this works. But there's this really weird thing that can happen where if you experience something bad and then you're still, what happens is it seems to lock that into your body for some weird reason. Like I say, I'm not entirely sure on what's going on there or why, but it is something that definitely seems to happen. So if you go through something, someone insults you, someone breaks up with you, whatever, the worst thing you can do is just sit there and play video games or curl up on the couch and read a book or browse social media. You'll want to get moving as quickly as you can, and to keep moving as long as you can. Now, if it's already too late, you've had this experience and now you're sort of stuck on it, and you're finding that you can't get past it, well, still get moving. What the movement is, it really does depend. It will come down to where you feel the most stuck. For example, if you're feeling tense and you're feeling it in your shoulder, well, that's the part you need to be moving. If you think about the insult and you get sort of sick to your stomach, then it's your stomach area that needs to get moving. But basically, any sort of movement is going to be better than nothing. Really effective, gets the whole body going. Seriously, just jump. And if you need to, just shake it out. Just go nuts. No one's watching. You're not recording yourself like I am. There's no need to feel self-conscious about any of this. Just do what you need to do. This is medicine. For whatever reason, it shakes the stuck fixations loose. So do it. If it helps, why not? Another thing that can help, and this does relate to moving, is to get out there among people. I found that when I was fixated on various things, something as simple as walking to the shops, partly because it involves moving, but partly because it involves getting away from screens and just being around other people for a little bit. It does help. Again, I don't know why. I don't particularly need to know why. I just need to know that this works. And even if I'm wrong about that, well, it's a pretty good idea to get some fresh air, get some sunshine, and to see people in the flesh. That's rarely a bad thing to do, unless you're terribly contagious or radioactive or something. Just get out there, give it a go, see what happens. And the third thing that you want to do is take a moment to reflect on exactly what has happened and what it is that you haven't learned from it, but you know you should. Because if you're stuck on something, then it means that there's some wisdom, some lesson, something which you should be taking away from this experience, but you haven't learned yet. That's why you haven't been able to let go. It's because there's something about this that your unconscious is telling you need to know. And the fact that you're not knowing it yet means that you're going to remain stuck on it until you take in the lesson. It's sort of like the idea of, let's say, it doesn't really work in the modern context, but let's say it's the Victorian era and a street urchin has an important message to deliver to you. And they'll get paid, £1 or whatever it is, once they've delivered the message to you. If you ignore them, that urchin is not going to go away. They're going to stay there. They're going to knock on your door. They're going to sleep on your door. They're going to try to climb or shout through the window. They're going to do whatever it takes to get your attention. And until you learn what it is you need to learn from them, they're not going anywhere. And it's the same thing with anything that you're stuck on. If you can't move past something, it's because there's something you need to learn from that you haven't yet learned. So take a moment. What is this experience trying to teach you? What happened that shouldn't happen again next time? What does this say about you, the fact that you're not able to move past this? There's going to be some lesson that will improve your life, your mind, your circumstances once you take it from that and apply it. And that's good news, because the next time you're stuck on something, you can know that this is going to be an amazing learning opportunity for you. So that's something you can look forward to.